last Saturday, I had a rough run in the Legacy. I was 1-3. There was like an hour and a half to kill before the Modern Constructed was going to fire. So I was just like, I'm just going to... I didn't want to just kill stream. I didn't want to just kill time on stream for like an hour and a half. And the Pro Tour was on. So I was like, all right, we'll just end the stream. We'll raid one of my buddies and we will... That'll be it. And I'll do the Modern Challenge off stream. And if it goes really well, I'll stream it later. That was my plan. My plan was to, if I did better, just stream the top 8 or whatever. Or top, just stream whatever was, whatever was going to happen. I wasn't sure what deck I wanted to play, but I wanted to do something different because I wasn't streaming. So I was looking around for decks, and I copied Kona's deck. This got first place in the challenge the week before. It was just I just straight neck decked it. The same 75. I didn't make any changes. I haven't really played this deck a lot. I've played it a couple times through a couple of leagues on stream. But I've seen the power of it. I've played against it a couple times. So I was like, all right, we'll give this a run. We'll give it a run. And I ended up winning the challenge. I got first place. And I didn't stream it. I didn't want to go head-to-head versus the Pro Tour and whatever. And I was just chilling. So I ended up winning the challenge. And I don't have a VOD of it, but I do have... One of the nice things about Magic Online is it saves all the replays. So we're going to start. We're going to go over game by game. We're going to go round 1, round 2, round all the way to the finals. And we're going to watch the games, and we're going to talk about them, and we're going to go from there. All right, so round 1, game 1. First off, let's check out the list real quick. Let's close this. Let's go check out the list. So it's pretty straightforward. Got a lot of lands, got a lot of different fetches. Most notably, it's playing the old Triomes, Rug, and America. The reason Yorion is good in this deck, what makes Yorion good is a lot of times in Magic, you go back and forth, and you're trading resources, and you're going relatively even, right? You do thing, I do thing, we trade resources back and forth. But the way this deck is built, that trading ends when Yorion comes into play, right? Like you have, for value, you have this. You can bounce all your Planeswalkers, right? You can bounce all these. You can bounce basically all of this for value. So you basically have 35 things that give Yorion absolute crazy value, right? So those 35 things are the reason that Yorion is good. And it's worth the 20 extra cards is because you are making a big commitment to play 80 cards, but in doing so, you build your deck different so that you can capitalize on these 35 cards. Like I'm sure throughout the course of the challenge, I probably blinked every single one of these cards with Yorion for value, I might not have blinked I might not have blinked a Titania. And while you do lose a lot of consistency by going 80 cards, you do lose some consistency doing it, but at the same time, you're gaining this free, I'm going to take you to the next level card, which is what this deck does, right? Like you're trading. Oh, here comes Yorion. I'm going to blink one, like an Abundant Growth, this, and this, and I'm going to draw 5 cards, right? So that's the trade-off for making the sacrifice of being slightly less consistent. Like, yes, you'd like to have a Wrenn and Six on turn 2, but you don't need a Wrenn and Six on turn 2. You don't need a Teferi on turn 3, right? The deck has enough, Basically, the deck just needs to stabilize till Omnath. Well, thank you, Burnt. Welcome. We're going over the challenge. So, basically, it has the best stabilizer of all time. and it has a tutor. It gets to play instant speed Demonic Tutor. That card's pretty good, I hear. No, there was no Yogg in the deck. So basically this lets you fix, if you need to draw, you need card draw, you're stuck on 2, you can get an Ice-Fang, you can get Endurance against the right decks, Risen Reef, Omnath. So basically you're playing you're playing 8 copies of Omnath, 8 copies of Risen Reef, 6 copies of Endurance, 8 Solitudes, 7 Furies, 1 Charmaw, 1 Titania. This card is very strong. Does that help? Does that help your answer? So the basic core of the deck is Abundant Growth, Wrenn and Six, Risen Reef, just a lot of good 4-ofs. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. So this is your core, right? And then your flexible cards, like there are a lot of different ways to build this deck. I like this list. It doesn't have Ragavan. I feel like Ragavan is kind of situationally powerful. It can run away with games, but it can also just stare at a board of nonsense. And I watch a lot of Elementals players. They kind of hone in on the Ragavan, and they'll like Solitude something turn 2 so their Ragavan can attack. And I just think that's a very short-sighted way of playing the game, and it's a short-sighted way of playing this deck. I mean, all this deck wants to do is survive until late game, when you can start doing hood rat broken Omnath things with fetch lands and stuff. You fetch land an Omnath, get a Yorion, blink, 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 draw 18 million cards with Risen Reefs. Like, you could do a lot of really gross things with Risen Reef. Risen Reef is kind of the sleeper best card in this deck, and it's also the worst card in the deck at the same time. So you'll see that throughout the league. We'll go through the leagues, we'll go through play-by-play, and you'll get to see it. All right, so that's the list. I just straight net decked Kona's list. He won the challenge on the 15th, and I won the challenge 7 days later, or 6 days later. I can't do math. With Elementals. So I just copied their list. All right, let's check out round 1. All right, here's round 1. I won the die roll. I'm on the play against Dr. Goyf. So the way this works is if you hit play, it'll go really fast. So you basically don't want it to go too fast. So we're going to just click through each turn, right? So if you just hit play, it goes really fast. So we're going to click turn by turn, which is going to be slow. So now it's my turn, right? It'll give us time to talk about each play. I mean, there's nothing to do, obviously. I'm just going to play a land, and we're going to let the opponent go. So they fetched out here. So right now I'm thinking some kind of Grixis. But they did have Basic Island here. So I was like, what's this? Basic Island isn't really played in Grixis. So I thought maybe it was like some kind of weird Grixis control. I didn't really know what was going on at this point. So now they're going to take their turn 2. They play a fetch land. They crack it. No, I think Yawgmoth's fine. I just wanted to try this off stream. I'm going to play Yawgmoth next week. Alright. So, they cast a Ledger Shredder, which is fine. We just bolt it, crack the fetch. Now it's our turn. I don't really remember what I do here, but I'm pretty sure I just play Teferi and plus Teferi, because it looks like there's some kind of blue-black shadow with Ledger Shredder. And I feel like getting a Teferi in play is just the right thing to do. Yeah, we just get Teferi. Teferi goes up. Now they can't play a Murktide. All right, and they're thinking here. And they play a Consider. Bobble. Target me. Play a fetch land. Now they pass to my turn. Now it's my turn. I've drawn the Endurance. So with this deck, all you really want to do is focus on hitting your land drops and getting to the late game. So I'm pretty sure I play an Oath of Nissa. I think we get a land here. See, like these are good cards, but I'm pretty sure I prioritize a land. Yeah, you just want to make your land drops, establish a perfect mana base, get the mana going so you could do the stuff. I'm pretty sure I misclick here and don't return the Oath. Nope, never mind. I did it right. So here, and I just cast another Oath of Nissa. Right, like I want them here to make a Murktide, so I could just play this Teferi and unsummon it. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could have just Endurance them. So here I take the Risen Reef, so we can start going to Value Town. That's the end of my turn. So now it's their turn, right? If they make a Murktide, I have this Teferi to just unsummon it. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. If you try to go late game with this deck's going to run you over. Alright, so what do they do here? They cast Archmage Charm to draw 2. They're not in a very good spot if they're main phasing an Archmage Charm. That's not how you want to cast an Archmage Charm, by the way. Alright, so now they go to our turn. We make our land drop. And they have such a fatty graveyard? I don't remember. Yeah, they have such a fatty graveyard. They have 12 cards. Just Endurance them. Keep them off mana. Keep them off mana for delving their spells, which is like a different kind of mana. We plus the Teferi, obviously. They're cracking their fetch. We also have Ephemerate here on this, so they can't really kill this. So they go to Fatal Push it. I just let it happen because, you know, who cares? I have, look at my hand. Like, I don't really care about a Fatal Push. I could have Ephemerated there and saved that, but I don't really care. You know, like, here's a Shadow. My Teferi went up here, so I could just kill this Shadow at the end of turn for free with the Teferi. Because Teferi is broken. Alright, so now we go to our turn. Got the fetch land. Pretty sure it's Risen Reef time. Charmaw. This was the only card that's kind of sketchy all day. It probably should have just been Magus of the Moon. Like, look at this situation. Look how good Charmaw would... Look how good Magus of the Moon would be. They'd be completely off black. Whereas this card is, like, only good versus Tron. I think this card should be in the sideboard and the Magus should be switched for the Charmaw. This is going to be a common theme you're going to see all day. Alright, so we go up with Teferi, and now we have the protected Risen Reef. We have the Ephemerate to protect it. If they do try to kill it, we have Value. We get to take them to Value Town. They won't want to go to Value Town, but we're going to take them. So here you go. They try to kill the Risen Reef, so Ephemerate that we could have used on the Endurance, we now get to use for full value. So we just take them to Value Town. Get the Risen Reef trigger. We get a Fury. Oh, don't mind if I do. And we're going to get another trigger off this if it resolves. Who knows what if it's going to resolve or not. So they just double drowned it, which is fine, right? We got a bunch of value from it. We got 2 cards. You know, we got all kinds of goodies from that card. Was a 2 for 2, but not really because we got cards back, so it was, I think that was a good exchange for us. So we're going to get a fetch. We want red because we got all these red cards in our hand. Now the Ephemerate whiffs, but that's okay, right? Who cares about the Ephemerate whiffing? We got a card out of it. So here we get to do all kinds of stuff. We get to Teferi the Oath, cast the Obsidian Charmaw. We get to do... See, I missed. This is when I missed. I remember I deliberately missed. I misclicked something. I didn't bounce anything. Right? I meant to minus on the Oath of Nissa and then replay the Oath of Nissa for value, but I misclicked because I am not oftentimes I make a lot of mistakes. If you watch a stream, you'd see that, but you might know that. You might notice a theme if you watch a stream. But I mean, like, we can't really lose this game. We have, you know, this is our hand. That was, in fact, a punt. Yeah, but I meant to bounce this, right? Because there's no reason not to bounce this. So I missed the bounce there, but, you know, that's life. So here we're just going to play probably Charmaw, nuke a land. Like, imagine if this was a Magus of the Moon. This game would be over. They would be off black. So we just play that. And we had the mana to Oath for another land, but I messed this up, like I said, right? Like, this would have been a clean Oath for another land drop, make a land drop, but I punted. That was a straight punt. I knew that I had missed an Oath of Nissa with the Teferi. I just misclicked it. Oh well. I'm still winning this game. So my opponent drowns it. Sure. And here comes Murktide number 2. Or Murktide. I said Murktide number 2, but they actually didn't cast a Murktide. So here I'm pretty sure I go Fury plus Unholy Heat on that. Hey, Dr. Goif. What's up? Yeah, we're going over it play-by-play here. Yeah. Don't look. Don't watch. What's up, Dr. Goif? Alright. I know. So we do 4 damage, and then we have the 1 damage here. But do you see how our board kind of stagnated because we didn't bounce the Oath here? We really fucked up here. Like, we haven't progressed our board. This was a huge punt. And if this was a tighter matchup, like if this game was tighter, this may have cost me the game. So always take advantage of your value. Alright, so that was that. We had the Fury. They had 3 cards in hand. Teferi is really hard for this type of deck to get out. So at this point, we know we're playing Blue-Red Murktide. Unfortunately, I can't go into the sideboarding. So we'll go to game 2. What I can do... alright, so we can look at the sideboarding, right? So the actual sideboard of the deck, right, is over here. So we'll pull up the actual sideboard. So Chalice of the Void, Veil of Summers, Vetoes, Endurances, 2 Endurances, Knight of Autumn, Magus of the Moons. So we can take a look here, what we did. We kept the Chalices in the board. We brought in the 3 Veil of Summers. And we brought out the Furies, right? We brought out 3 Furies. Well, there's 1 Fury in the sideboard, so we left 1 Fury in to Eladamri's Call for. So there's 1 Fury in the deck to Eladamri's Call for. And we brought in 3 Veil of Summers. We boarded out the Oath of Nissas. And we brought in... What else did we bring in? We brought in 2 Endurances. So we switched these for Endurances. We brought out the Charmaw because that card's kind of sketchy. And we brought in 2 Endurances. And so we switched 2 Endurances and 2 Veil of Summers. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we also brought in... What other card do we bring in? We brought in a... I can't figure it out. Knight of Autumn. That's weird. I guess the... oh, yeah, because there were only 2 Furies in the deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in, 5 out. Sorry, I got confused because 1 Fury's in the main. So we only sided out 2 Furies. So our sideboarding was Fury, Obsidian Charmaw, Oath of Nissa's out. Alright, so let's take a look. We're revealing Yorion. So this is our opener. I keep this, right? We've got Veil. Veil's really good against... I didn't see a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition in game 1, but I did figure that they had it, right? Obviously, the reason to go blue-black, and they were playing Shadow, so like Shadow and Thoughtseize go hand in hand, right? So I was like, all right, they didn't have Thoughtseize's effects in game 1, but I knew that they would have them in game 2. There's no way that they didn't have any kind of Thoughtseize effects. All right, so they start off with Bobble. They bobble themselves, looking for the land. And they play the land. So this means they want to keep the card that they drew, right? So it's like, all right, they want to keep the card they drew. That's information for us. Alright, so we drew perfect here. This is Endurance is going to be a good card against them. And we're going to be able to hold up Veil. So we just play land, hold up Veil. If we don't have to Veil, then we get to crack this fetch and get the proper fetch land. But we're in a good spot here. We get to hold up Veil. Then next turn we get to Snake. Right? We just have to make sure we get blue-green here to be able to Veil into Snake with the blue and then the green. So let's see what happens. So they crack. They get the Watery Grave. Look away, Dr. Goyf. Look away, Dr. Goyf. I know what's about to happen. Thoughtseize. Well, we play this card. So we crack it. We got to get the Breeding Pool, so that way we could take the Snake next turn. And we Veil it. That feels very good. If you've never done this, it's terrific. If you're doing this in Legacy, don't. If you're doing this in Legacy, don't do it, because I play Thoughtseize in Legacy, so don't play Veil of Summer in Legacy. Alright, so that was that. And they missed their land drop, so now they're a million miles behind. And I don't remember which one I went with. If I went with Abundant Growth here or Snake. I'm pretty sure I probably went with Abundant Growth first. Let's see. Yeah, Abundant Growth is just such a good card. And just having this fixes all your mana so well. So, and we can also draw, like, we drew another Risen Reef. Alright, that was our turn. So now their turn. They play a land. And they got nothing. So now this is our main phase. So we want to play the Snake main phase to hit a land drop. All we want to do is hit land drops and progress our board. Snakey comes down. They could counter this. I don't remember what they end up doing. Yeah, I did open the chest. At the end of this, we'll go over the chest. I literally just copied the list that won last week. I didn't make any decision calls on deck making. I'll talk about it after the league. Alright, so they play the Dress Down, which is kind of annoying because we don't draw our card, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world because they didn't use it against one of these things. So we got the Snake in play, and they just missed their land drop, so we got to our third land drop here. So we can play these three cards. We also could play the Endurance. I don't really remember which one I do. Let's see. I think I play Teferi. We try to get to Teferi in play. Well, thank you. Thank you for the resubscription for 2 months. I appreciate it. Alright, so they're going to counter Teferi. That's fine. Get them for 1. No big deal. Alright, now we're in turn 2. I think any of these cards they would have countered. There was maybe an argument to Endurance here, but I didn't do it. And they get a Murktide, I'm pretty sure. So they get a big old Murktide, which is fine. Because we have the Eladamri's Call that just gets Solitude. I don't remember what I end up doing here. We play Risen Reef. We start... You have a choice with Risen Reef, right? So... With Risen Reef, you have a choice. You could put this into your hand, or you could put it in play. Since I didn't make a land drop this turn, right, I put this into my hand. Oh, or I should have. I'm an idiot. I should have put this into my hand and then held up the Veil of Summer, right? I should have put this into my hand, played it for turn, and held up the Veil. But I'm not smart, so I missed it. No attacks with the Snakey. It's only a 5/5 Murktide, so it's not like the end of the world. So they choose not to attack, which maybe they should have attacked here, but they chose not to. Sometime, I don't know. Alright, so here we go. We go Risen Reef. So here comes the gross value. Here comes the gross value. So here they go to counter this. And we just Veil it. We draw the solid dude. So here comes Value Town. So here we pitch the Solitude. Here are the triggers. Now it's important, right, to stack your triggers properly, right? Because we can hit an Ephemerate here, and Ephemerate and save this. And then they're just in prison, right? We have 1 million cards. We're drawing too many million more cards, you know? Like, they're in prison. They concede. All right. That was round 1. So, Dr. Goif, any thoughts? All right. Let's check out round 2. NBT. Yeah. We got lucky hitting the Veil. I mean, if you would have thought these on turn 1, yeah. It was rough. Good games. Good games for sure. All right. MBT. Mindbreak, Trap, Wolf. Let's see what we got to start with. I've lost the die roll. I'm on the draw. All right. So they started off with Ragamuffin. Now, I kept a sketchy hand, but we've got these 2 cards, which is basically Green Ponder and draw a card. So, obviously, we're going to kill the Ragamuffin. Oh! Wow. I just ignored it. Huh. I just chose, I prioritized growing the thing. I may have solid-duded it. Yeah, I solid-duded it. Yeah. Because one of the things about this deck is you can spew value because you make up value later. Not to make any statements. So they play Overgrown Tomb. So right now we're thinking Jund. They Inquisition us. They took the Wrenn and Six, which really hurt. Spellbombed us. See, I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. I probably would have taken the Oath of Nissa if I had the Spellbomb. Because I guess the Spellbomb keeps the Wrenn and Six in check. So, I don't know from our opponent. But maybe they have another card in their hand. So, obviously, the most important card to me here is Oath of Nissa. We really need to hit here. We hit the Flooded Strand. Perfect. Play the Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Now we're set up with a nice Ephemerate Fury turn. Let's see what our opponent does. They Spellbomb us. Yeah, it's hard to say exactly. Like, you don't know what's in their hand, right? But I'm pretty sure they play a Tarmogoyf here. They Thoughtseize us. Nothing we could do, right? They take the Fury. And they just don't do anything. Here we want to fetch up the Triome at the end of turn. We get America's Triome because we have America's cards in hand. I say America's, but it's red, white, and blue. So, America. It could also be France. It could also be some of the other countries, but we'll call it America. I call it America's Triome and Rug Triome. That's just how I remember it. All right, here we obviously want to play Teferino. Teferino goes up. I could have bounced this, but I already made a land. Also Dutch. Yes, true. I could have bounced this for value, but I wait. I like going up with Teferi. Let's see what they end up doing. They play a Bugbear. All right, so here now I'm pretty sure I just bounced the Oath for value. Yep. Oh, look at that value. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this is just... Teferi's like the best card in the deck. Teferi and Wrenn and Six are the best cards in the deck. Oath hits. Ice-Fang gives me something to do with my mana. We play the land, and that's that. And now we have Ice-Fang plus Ephemerate, which is just... So this is draw 1 card. This is draw 2 cards with the Ice-Fang. Just everything I could ever want. They bolt the Teferi. No big deal. Just means our Ephemerate's going to be a little less good. But that's not really a big deal. So we'll pop the Ice-Fang in play. And we want to pop the Ice-Fang in play before we fetch so we can see what kind of mana we need off the Ice-Fang. We got a Wrenn and Six, so we got red, green mana. So now we have 2 more. Draw 1, draw 2. So now we play Wrenn and Six. Return the land. Attack. Yeah, it was probably right not to take the Wrenn and Six. They didn't have any threats. So it was right. It was right. Our opponent played well. Alright. I thought they had a Tarmogoyf follow-up. That might have been the second game. Alright, so let's see what they end up doing here. They go Ragavan dash. Obviously, Ragavan, we're not going to let Ragavan dash. So we're just going to bolt it into Wrenn and Six. So they return a land. And now we make Ice-Fang, I believe, at the end of turn. We're at 12 life, so we want to start fetching basics. So get the Ice-Fang, draw a card, untap. We draw a Boseiju. We could start Boseijuing their lands. We could start Wrenn and Sixing. I don't really remember what I do. Pretty sure I Unholy Heat the Wrenn. Return a land. Pretty sure I didn't need to do this now. Oh, I return Yorion. Attack. This game feels pretty wrapped up. They just haven't produced a threat. Right? They just have no threats. Here comes a Tarmogoyf, which, you know, it's a big deal. I'm pretty sure I Boseiju their Den of the Bugbear here at the end of turn. Just to get it off the battlefield. Yeah. I just want to deal with this now while I have the extra mana. So this way I don't randomly get cracked by a Den of the Bugbear. They killed our Wrenn and Six in response. Alright, so this is like perfect. I'm pretty sure I just Solitude here. I just cast a solid dude. I attack first, I guess. Pretty sure this was too conservative. I could have attacked here with that. Well, then I end up passing. And then we have Ragamuffin defense, Tarmogoyf. And now here comes Solid Dude. Roast one of those Tarmogoyfs. Then we go to combat. Attack. So this is an example of when you just go to Value Town. Like, we're going back and forth. All our cards are 2-for-1s. And here comes Yorion. Right? We're killing their guy. Drawing 3 cards, right? Like, this is just straight Value Town. They killed Yorion, but who cares? They literally killed Yorion and then conceded. Because we're drawing 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, plus exiling their best card. Right? So, not much to be said here. They didn't have a lot going on. They didn't produce a threat until it was way too late. And our snakes already had their teeth. Okay, on to game 2. So, round 2, game 2. Let's see how we sideboarded. So, we sided out a Fury, sided out a Charmaw, and sided out 2 Oath of Nissas for the... We sided them out for the Veil of Summers and the Night of Autumn, because I assume they were Jund Saga. So I brought in the Night of Autumn, and I brought in the Magus of the Moon. So we sided out 1 Fury, 1 Charmaw, 2 Oath of Nissas for Magus of the Moon, and 3 Veil of Summers. Alright, so that's how we sideboarded, so let's check out the game. Reveal the Yorion. So I mulligan the first hand. This is a shitty second hand. I'm pretty sure... I keep a 1-lander here. This is kind of sketchy. We're on the draw, right? I'm up a game. We're on the draw. This hand just needs another land, and we have Wrenn and Six. I don't like mulliganing in general as a rule, so I didn't want to do it. I don't like mulliganing, especially... Emrakul comes in the mirror. It comes in towards late games. I do board it in, and I do cast it. So right here, like, this is a sketchy keep, but all I need is 1 land. And I have 2 draw steps to hit 1 land. Alright, so they play Bobble. we hit Veil. You know, we play the Misty, hold up the Veil. Alright, so now it's their turn. We really need to get lucky here. Tarmogoyf. I crack, we get Raugrin Triome. Alright, so now we need to draw land. Uh-oh. Right? But this is still an okay draw, because we can Fury away the Tarmogoyf, pitching an extra Omnath, because now we're at 1 land. We're in a bad spot. Another Tarmogoyf. So we really need to draw land here. It's a land, which technically counts. It does turn on Eladamri's Call. It also turns on Endurance. Pretty sure we Eladamri's Call at the end of turn. Take 2. Here comes Lily, I'm pretty sure. We Eladamri's Call. Get a solid dude. Discard the Endurance. Magus. Not very helpful. So I'm pretty sure we just chill here. Now our opponent Inquisitions us. We finally get to cash in on the Veil, which is huge. We get to Snaky. We get to Solid Dude the Tarmogoyf. So we've spewed a lot, but we just need this. We just need to get to this Wrenn and Six. And there, boom, we got to the Wrenn and Six. Everything's beautiful and groovy. Wrenn and Six, Wrenn goes up. Now they decay our Wrenn and Six. Or they trophy our Wrenn and Six. So we get to ramp. They bolt us. We discard the land. This was the most perfect draw in the land of perfect draws ever. I couldn't ask for a better draw than this. You could call me a luck sack for this draw, because this draw won me the game. Right? Just straight won me the game. Like, unbelievable won me the game. Like, unreal. So they're both drawing. So now we return Yorion and we hold up Eladamri's Call. That was an actual sack of luck draw. They play Wrenn, they ping our thing. So we get Titania. And Titania is really good in this situation. We could have got Omnath too, but this was just too much value to pass up. Like, look at what just Titania just did and got us, right? This game's pretty much over. They kill the Titania. They make us sack the Elemental. All right. So they're not giving up. But we get to go. This is because I thought they were Jund Saga. So we get to play our Omnath. We drew the fetch. We drew the land. We play that. Look at that. Just. Oh, I'm going too fast here. So look at what just happened. We just drew 2 cards. Blink this. Now we have 2 threats. Yeah. So they play a Tarmogoyf. And we just play Snaky. Draw. We'll discard the Knight of Autumn probably. And now we proceed to go to Value Town. So now we play this. Don't look. This is going to be Ephemerate. Guess who can be ephemerated for value vomiting? All right, you ready to see the value vomit? We're just getting the triggers. That land, we put this land in hand. Oh, we put it in play. It triggers this. We get a bunch of mana. And I just ephemerate this. So we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just going to be crazy. And we blink. I'm pretty sure I just blink everything. All right. We bolt the Lily and we get a little bit of value. I'm just going to skip through all these triggers. I'm pretty sure our opponent concedes. No, they don't concede. Yeah, they conceded in the middle of it. So, value town. Ephemerate's dumb. All right, so 2-0. 2-0, round 2. Let's go to round 3. Yes. All right, we're playing against X-Whale. He's a streamer. He's a good dude. Played against him quite a bit. All right, so this hand just got these 3 cards, and these 3 cards are good enough. So obviously, just always basic forest into abundant growth. The perfect mana. All right, let's see what they end up doing. Oh, I lost this game. So they grief me. They cycle into grief. I end up losing this round. Should play the Triome. Cycle, cycle. I mean, I don't have a lot of options here. Play Risen Reef. Obviously, I am absolutely in a lot of trouble if they have it. And they just have it, and they murder me. There goes our Risen Reef. There goes my hand. There goes my 1 card. And that's that. Yeah, Wrenn will show him. I got absolutely demolished. Absolutely demolished that game. So now we go to game 2. I get 2-0'd this match, and it's not even close. All right, no, it is close, and I do punt. I do throw away this game. Okay, so let's look at how we sideboarded. All right, we sideboarded. What do we do? We brought in the 2 Chalices. We brought in the 3 Veil of Summers. That's 5 cards. We brought in the Dovin's Vetoes. That's 7 cards. We brought in the Meddling Mage. That's 8 cards. We brought in the Endurances. That's 10 cards. And we brought in the Fury. That's 11 cards. We boarded in 11 cards. So what did we side out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So we went full all in on hate here. Oh. This hand's good. We've got an Endurance, so I keep. Just play our land tap, move to the next turn. They just do their usual cycle thing. I draw Risen Reef here, so we're just going to set up for Eladamri's call. They do more cycle stuff. They grief me. They take the Eladamri's call. All right. So here I'm pretty sure I gamble on the Risen Reef here, which wasn't very smart. But I ended up drawing a green card anyway. So I also pitched the Fury so that way Fury will be in the graveyard. So that if they do cast a Living End, I can get a free Fury back and hopefully shoot down, block one of these things, shoot down one of these, and hopefully I'll get an Endurance here. So now we're in an okay spot. We have the Endurance. All right, here's where I fuck up. I fuck up this next turn, and it costs me the match. Why is it making me... Why can't I go to the next thing? All right. So here I fuck up. I fuck up real bad here. So I have to think that the only way that I lose this game is by them having a Subtlety for this. And Subtlety puts this on the top of the deck. So I should have played this. All right. So I should have... I play the Risen Reef here, right? And with one of these 2 triggers on the stack, right? I should have Endurance them and clean their graveyard. So that way, if they had a Subtlety, right, I would have drawn it back with the Risen Reefs. But I leave myself dead to them having Cascader plus Subtlety, and I didn't need to do that. I needed to go Endurance right here, nuke their graveyard, make them restart their graveyard with 3 cards in hand, and play around Subtlety. And I didn't do that, and it cost me the game. Right? So we cast Endurance here. We pitch the Eladamri's Call. If they have the Subtlety, we get to draw Endurance again because we just put it on top. But I didn't do that, and it cost me the game. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I didn't do it. And then I just lost the game. So now they just untap. They have 4 cards left, which are exactly Cascade card plus 2 cards left, which are Subtlety. And I lose the game because I played poorly. I needed to do this with this trigger on the stack and with the draw trigger from the Risen Reef. And I didn't, and I lose the game. I try to fumble around and try and make it work, but I just slowly lose the game from this point. Right. It's inevitable at this point. There's just too much going on here. Maybe if I drew like an effect, like there's just so much power here, and the game just ends. I don't even have the mana. I have to get this as a blocker. I don't have the red mana to cast the Fury, so I just had to get something that could chump block this. That was all that I could do, and I draw the Endurance, and that's it. So I threw away this game by not Endurancing with the trigger on the stack, and it cost me the match. So that was a punt. I didn't see it at the time. I thought about it, and I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm drawing 3 cards. I'll be able to draw another Endurance. But it really was a mistake. Their graveyard was so stacked, I really needed to just hit their graveyard with the trigger on the stack. Then if they Subtlety it, I could just draw it again. Right? That's what I needed to do. And I didn't do that, and I died instantly. Alright, well, that was that. So now we're 2-1. Alright, round 4. Let's see what we're playing against round 4. Annie B. So we mulligan here. It's Titan. I played against Titan like 8 times for some reason. Obviously, we're just going to Prismatic Ending the Amulet. They have another Amulet. We do have 2 solid dudes in our hand. So, like, it's not the end of the world here. Just play land. It's broken. It's very good. It has some inconsistencies with interacting with certain types of decks. Alright, so here they just play a Dryad. So it's very clear to me that they didn't really have Titan here. So this is kind of rough because we can't play the Risen Reef. We can't really do much of anything, so I end up returning Yurion and pass. But now we have 1, 2, 3 Solitudes in play. So they hit a fetch land, and they go off with Titans. I'm just going to skip through this. They get another Titan, 2 Titans, do ridiculous busted stuff. We Solitude a Titan, we Solitude the other Titan, then they attack us. So their hand is, I don't remember, but I think it's a bounce land. Now we get the land to play the Risen Reef. Play the Risen Reef. I have to Solitude that Dryad. Maybe I didn't have to there, but I figured we had a turn that they had to pay for the Summoner's Pact. Alright, so now we're just dodging top decks at this point. Abundant Grow, Wrenn. Look at that value. Wish we had Yuri on now, but they hit Saga. They're at 37 life here. We're just hoping to draw Fade Titania. I'm pretty sure Eladamri's call for... This is probably where I fucked up. I probably should have got... I don't know what I should have got. I think I get Charmaw and Charmaw the Saga. Yeah, I should have got Omnath here, probably. I don't know. I probably should have got Omnath because I had the Risen Reef. We blow up the Saga. I probably should have even blown up the Slayer Stronghold, to be honest. This was a punt. You know, I should have probably got Omnath and just drawn cards. So then they draw Turn Timber, they get Titan, and I lose. So, hindsight 2020, should have killed the Slayer Stronghold, but I'm an idiot, and they draw Titan and I die. So we had the right idea, but we should have killed the thing. All right, on to game 2. So sideboarding is, what do we sideboard? We have sideboarded out our endurances. The 2 endurances. We sideboard out a Fury. And we sideboard out Ice-Fang Coatls. And we brought in Magus of the Moon, Knight of Autumn, Chalice of the Void, and Meddling Mage. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5-for-5 swap. Okay. So we reveal Urion. Just draw our land. This is that's against the amulet. Alright, here's Grazer for them. So pretty sure I just put this into play tapped. They have a pretty good start here. I think we got kind of lucky. I ended up winning this match, which is crazy. Alright, so now we have ending. Pretty sure I just play an elemental here. This was kind of sketchy here to do this, but I didn't really have any other plays, right? There's not that much else I could do. The second they made an elemental here, instead of floating mana, I knew I was going to win the game. So they make this, they get this, whatever. Right? They get Relic of Progenitus? I don't know. I don't know why they didn't get an amulet, but whatever. So now we have this, plus this, plus this. We have it all. So now we're winning. So, exile a red card. And we ephemerate it. We just get all the value. Downrange call the hand. See, I take that to hand so I can make a land drop. And then play the other Risen Reef. So I do learn from my mistakes in round 1. So we draw this. Now it's their turn. We also have an Ephemerate coming off Suspend next turn, which is worth knowing. They just don't have Titan. Alright, so now the Ephemerate comes off Suspend. I think I target a Risen Reef to go to Value Town. Value. Value, value, value. I guess they were afraid of Eternal Witness, which I understand. So we just attack them. Pretty sure I attack first. We swing in. They chump. I think I play Charmaw and kill the Sanctuary. I hope I play Charmaw and kill the Sanctuary. Oh, that was pretty greedy there. Yeah, we kill the Charmaw, kill that. And then that about wraps this game up. So now we Unholy Heat. I'm just gonna go Warp Speed because this game's over. Right? We Endurance that. We Fury, value. Pitch that. Pretty sure I play the Teferi and unsummon the Urza Saga too. Teferi, unsummon the Saga, attack for 1,000,000. They pop the Relic, untap, that's it. Okay. Game 3. Round 4, Game 3. Alright. They didn't have it last game. They had it Game 1. Alright, so this hand is okay. Pretty sure I prioritize killing the Amulet over casting Abundant Growth. So, they play a bounce land. Pretty sure I go Abundant Growth into an Oath of Nissa. And I think I whiff on this Oath of Nissa. Which is kind of embarrassing. No, I didn't whiff. I drew Knight of Autumn, which is a good draw. Someone hitting a vape. I mean, maybe. Maybe it's someone hitting a vape. Okay. So they played Azusa. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana here. So obviously at this point, killing the Azusa doesn't really do much. I return Urion to my hand? That was weird. There's no point, I guess, in playing the Wrenn because we have a bunch of lands in hand. So I think I just wanted something to Solitude. Oh, it's a free card to Solitude. So they just attack us and play that. So they don't have another land to play the Amulet, so their hand is bad. We just play the Knight of Autumn, kill the Amulet, play a fetch land, and that's that. So now they still need 5 mana. They just whiffed, they didn't do anything. So now we have Eladamri's Call for anything. We also have Hardcast Solitude. So we're just going to chill, right? These are instants, so why play them now? So they cast Summoner's Pact. And we Eladamri called for the Obsidian Charmaw. Sorry, it went too fast. So here we just play Charmaw, blow up one of those bounce lands. Call it a day. Now it's their turn. They only have 4 mana. And we know they don't have lands in hand, or they would have used them. I've seen a lot of lists playing Dismember. Right? I've seen a lot of lists playing Dismember. So now we drew perfect. This was a really good draw. So now we swing with both. Now we put Chalice on 0. I think they play... Yeah, see, here's the Dismember. They Dismember the Charmaw. That's fine. That's why I'm not really too keen on Magus against these kind of decks. They are prepared. They are prepared for that kind of nonsense. Alright, so they take 2 here. We don't get to live the dream and bounce the Charmaw with Urion. So we do put Chalice on 0. We know they got a Summoner's Pact with the Teleria West. They didn't do it in response, which is nice. Now we just play Wrenn. I don't know if I needed to do this, but I did. I did it, apparently. I killed their Azusa the hard way with 2 bad touches. Then I play land. Alright, so they're stuck on mana. They don't have the mana to Titan. I don't know what's in their hand. They have 5 cards in their hand? I don't know. Here comes Omnath, and then we proceed to do dumb shit. We proceed to do dumb shit. I'm just going to skip through this game. They do Dismember it. Oh, they do Dismember it. So it's not total dumb shit. They play Arbor. There's no big deal. We hold the fetch for another Omnath. Attack. I kill that thing. Now here comes Yorion, blink. And we draw a million cards. They're just not really doing anything. So the game's not very exciting at this point. Because we're just in Value Town. This is the Oath of Nissa. Oh, that's not the Oath of Nissa that I miss. We just make, you know, myths. And that's the game. Pretty much every time I cast Yorion and get a bunch of triggers, people just concede. Alright. So that was game 3. So we're now 3-1. Let's check out round 5. So I kept a really sketchy hand that just had Abundant Growth plus Oath of Nissa. We don't know what our opponent's doing. Let's see what they're up to. Forest Elf. Oh, this is... Pretty sure I dunk on Yawgmoth. We drew the land, never didn't have it. We also had the green Ponder to get it. But I'm pretty sure I just hold up the Ice-Fang. I agree. It's pretty dumb. Alright, so here comes Strangarootgeist. This is our chance to Undying this, which I end up taking, Undying it, blocking. So here, this is a tough spot, right? Because we want to Wrenn minus this, but we also want to progress our board. I don't really remember what I do here. I'm pretty sure I Wrenn plus play Oath of Nissa and then Solitude the Strangarootgeist to keep the Wrenn alive. I don't know. I don't remember what happens. This is you? I'm sorry, outside. I'm sorry. So we Oath first for the... This might have been greedy. But we Oath first. We hit a Teferi, which is a bit of a whiff. I guess I went with the maximum greed play. And I was punished. Just maximum greed. Because I didn't want to commit the... I didn't want to commit to have to Solituding the Geist. Just maximum greed. I got very lucky in this game. My opponent did not ever draw Yawgmoth. Like, if they would have had a Yawgmoth this turn, I would have been in a lot of trouble. So they just smacked me in the face. I'm at 13. Alright, so we draw another land here. Now I play the Wrenn, which I should have played... Alright, we're going to Solitude. I think I Solitude the Strangarootgeist. I don't remember what I do here. So I go after the Wall of Roots. I just remember... I go after the Wall of Roots here, which may have been a mistake. I was thinking in my head, I was like, alright, they haven't cast a Yawgmoth yet. The only card that they probably... And they didn't Evolution, so they probably have a Court of Calling. So if I go after the Wall of Roots, it really hurts the Court of Calling. That was the thought process. I guess I just get another... Then I get a Fury. Ugh. I'm sorry, Yawgmoth players. Look away. So now, I'm just lucky they don't have anything. So now we get the Wrenn and Six going. They just don't have anything really. They have the cord for a Young Wolf. If we had a Yawg here, we would be in trouble, but they just never really drew Yawg. They did kill that, which is a pain. But they had all the tools, they just never got to Yawg. Alright. So here we get a Teferi, unsummon the Young Wolf. We have lands now. Yeah. Like, we would be dead if they had a way to get Yawg here. But they just never got Yawg until it was too late. So we just play land, exile one of them. Just let Teferi die. Yeah, they just have nothing. We could have easily lost if they had Yawgmoth here. Then we get to Eladamri's Call for Omnath, Eladamri's Call for Fury. Now we just play Play Omnath. Play Fury. They had a Young Wolf for another this to kill the Omnath. They just never got to Yogg. We drew Omnath into this, into this, into this. Yeah, that was a pretty gross turn. And now they finally draw Yawgmoth here. But it's just way too late. They get Yogg. They're at 6 though. They can't win from this point. They're too far behind. We ended up getting a Fury. We ended up wrecking them. We got lucky. They never drew a Yogg. Until turn... What turn is this? This is their turn 7. They finally got to Yogg. If they would have had a Yogg on 3, we would have crushed... They would have crushed us. Alright. So now... game 5... Around 5. How do we sideboard? I like cutting Risen Reefs against Yawgmoth. Just Yogg killing a Risen Reef is the worst feeling in the world. So how do we sideboard? We brought in 3 Veil of Summers. We brought in 2 Endurances. And we brought in Magus of the Moon. And we brought in a Fury. So we brought in 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. And we cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. We cut the Charmaw. Brought in Magus, Fury, and then the 3 things. We cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hate getting Risen Reef killed by Yogg. It's just too free for them, right? For us to invest and just have this thing killed by Yogg, just not worth it. Alright. So, I watched someone do it against me one time. This hand kind of sucks, but it's got 2 Furies. And they're playing a deck that's very weak to Fury, so we keep. They thought seize away a Fury. So he drew Unholy Heat, which was a good draw. Play Land Pass. Wall of Roots. Into Young Wolf. We'll crack a fetch here. So we need to draw a green land here. We don't draw it, but I'm pretty sure I go after... Kill the Young Wolf here. And I Fury away the Wall of Roots. They've mulliganed down to 5. Tandy, well, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone. We are going over the challenge win I had this weekend, and we're going game by game. We're talking about the plays. We're at round 5 right now. We are 4-1, or 3-1 right now. We're in game 2 versus Yawgmoth, and we get to kill their Wall of Roots. Puts us in a really good position here. They Thoughtseize us. They take the Wrenn. They play the Dryad Arbor. Obviously, we're going to kill this. This one, the Dryad Arbor, feels real bad. So they're not doing anything, and we're not doing anything at this point. They drew a Grist, which is a really good draw for them. We get to Teferi. We're not having a very good match right here. But again, they just don't have a Yogg. Like, if they had a Yogg here, we'd be in a lot of trouble. But Piggy just decided that he didn't want to play Yawgmoth today. Alright, so we're holding up the Eladamri's Call. So they have Chord here for Yogg, but they attack, so that means they don't have a Chord of Calling. So we just return Urion. So now we cast Wrenn, plus make a land drop. Like, we'd be so in trouble if they have Chord of Calling here, or Yawgmoth, or any of those cards. We're just in prison, but they just didn't draw it. So we go down to 12, we crack the fetch. Pretty sure they just kill Wrenn and Six, yep. This also keeps them from ultimating, so we don't have to worry about the incremental damage of ultimate. So we just basically play 2 mana draw card. Alright, so now we're going to start rolling Teferinos. I should have tapped differently here. I should have used the one colorless to play this elemental and then just go 1, 2, 3 and then held this up so that maybe I draw a green source I could cast this, but I'm not smart. I'm just looking back over my plays. It didn't matter, but this was dumb. Right, leave the green open. White, or blue, white, colorless. Didn't need to tap this. Should have saved this for this. Punt. Now they start messing around, going after Teferis. Again, we're just super lucky that they just don't draw Yogg. They drew very poorly in this matchup, and that's why we won. They hit an ooze. They start eating a bunch of our stuff. We get to... Let's see if I do it this time. See, this time I tapped correctly by tapping this for the colorless. This leaves us with Ice-Fang up. Yeah, that's the only way I could tap. And we bounce the Scavenging Ooze. Now we have Ice-Fangs here. But again, we're just getting so lucky that they're just not drawing Yawgmoth. They draw Yawgmoth at any time, we're like in trouble. I'm pretty sure that one was going after Teferi, so I blocked to keep Teferi alive. They're casting the Endurance now because Teferi's still alive. So they have no cards in hand, so we plus. I pass a turn, hold up Solitude because now we can just... I mean, again, we're just lucky that we're just dodging Yawgmoths. If they would have hit a Yawgmoth here, we would lose this game. So they attack. So obviously we have the blowout here. Solid dude, this, block one of these. And they're all... Doesn't show me who they're attacking right now, but... Okay. So they eat some stuff, We block one of those things. Then they kill the solid dude, which is fine. And they just have nothing. We're just getting so lucky that they're just not drawing anything. Plus the Teferi. And we're just holding up the other Solitude. They attack. They attack us, so we just let it go. So we Solitude the insect at the end of turn, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they just got unlucky. They knew we were going to hit this and then attack here, and then we could Teferi back the Solitude to our hand and just go to town. Basically what happened here is they got very unlucky and didn't draw Yawgmoth, and we won because of that. Good games. Piggy, if you're still watching. Yeah. We kind of got jammed up and we had awkward hands. They never really produced a Yogg that was a relevant Yogg. Alright. So, that was round 5. That puts us at 4-1. Now we're going into round 6. Let's see what we play in against in round 6. Broken Pots CB. Alright, so this is a good hand, right? We got Abundant Growth. Ugh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, you got pretty unlucky that round. We would have been dead at any point to the Yogg. But you just didn't draw it. Alright, so this is a good hand. They play Castle Garenbrig. So this is Amulet Titan again. I ended up playing against Amulet Titan 3 times in this match, in this thing. And I 3-0'd it. Alright, so we're just going to Abundant Growth. No big deal. So now, more Amulet Titan doing Amulet Titan things. Yep. They return the Garenbrig, blah, 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 blah. Alright. So, Masters, thank you for the 8 months. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright, so now we got... I don't remember what I do here. I think I play Oath. Maybe it's the only thing I can really... No, I guess I hold up Eladamri's Call for Magus, or for, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I do. I don't know. I guess I'm holding up Eladamri's Call for a Solitude or something. Alright, here comes Azusa. Now they have 1,000,000 lands. And I guess Eladamri's Call. Maybe I didn't need a shock there. But Eladamri's Call for... I think I get a Solitude here. Yeah. Solitude is a little bit of Titan insurance. So on our turn, we just... Oh, shit. Sorry, that went too fast. Basically, we Oath of Nissa, we hit Titania. Alright. They get Cavern on Giant. Here comes Giant. Oh, there comes Dryad. Into Titan. So, what do they get? They got a Teferi West, they got a Valakut. And they get to attack us for 1. We're at 7 here. Okay, so... we have been very thoroughly outramped. This is what it feels like in EDH sometimes. Your opponent has 17,000 things, and you're just like, Alright, so I'm pretty sure we Prismatic Ending the Dryad, and we Solitude the Titan. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Prismatic Ending the Dryad, play a land tapped. Solitude the Titan, pass the turn. Alright, so what are they drawing? They put the Teferi West in hand, and they have a bounce land, I'm pretty sure. They got the Teferi West with the Titan. So if they have a bounce land, they can... Now they play the bounce land. They get to return the Teferi West. They get another Giant. And we're dead. Lost every game 1 versus Amulet Titan all day. So we lost game 1. So, game 2. Sideboard, we have... we went out 2 Furies, 2 Endurances. That's 4 cards. We sided out Titania. That's 5 cards. And we brought in 2 Chalice of the Voids, 1 Meddling Mage. That's 3 cards. A Knight of Autumn. That's 4 cards. And a Magus of the Moon. That's 5 cards. So we went 5 for 5. This is an okay hand. We got the Boseiju. We've got draw cards. We have answers to some creatures. So we just play the land pass. Our opponent, Saga. So I'm pretty sure I don't do anything to this Saga. Every once in a while you wish this was March. And then sometimes it's great as Prismatic Ending, but it goes back and forth. If this was March here, oh man, 1 mana Stone Rain, sign me up. So now they play the Saga. And I'm pretty sure I just kill the bounce land here. There's just no reason not to just set them back. Right? They go from 2 lands to 1 land. Oh, no, never mind. I just fucking play an Ice-Fang. Never mind. Oh, I Boseiju it now. Okay, that makes more sense. I play the Ice-Fang, get to attack, untap, Boseiju it. Then we play a tap land. So yeah, that was right to play the snake so you could attack. If we Boseiju it, then we can't attack. Oops. So I made the right play in paper in the tournament, but I talked about it wrong. Alright, so they explore... Alright, that was a good draw. Chalice of the Void shuts down Pact of the Pact card, which is really good. Turn the old Yorion, smash the face. Summoner's Pact. So they play Teleria tapped. And here we go. We get to play our little friend. Our broken little friend. Attack him for 1. So they transmuted the Teleria West in their hand for a Cavern of Souls. Which is fine. Alright, we play Omnath. So I should have done this differently. I should have put the Risen Reef trigger first. I don't know. Maybe I should have done it differently. So there's a Risen Reef trigger, yeah. So now we have a million cards in our hand. We can't really do anything. But we have enough mana to... I discard the Meddling Mage, which was probably a punt in hindsight. I probably should have discarded Prismatic Ending. Like, I should have just Meddling Mage naming fucking Titan. Right? But I discarded it because I don't know. This was probably a mistake. I probably should have discarded one of these two. Or even the Eladamri's Call, right? But I should have kept the Meddling Mage. I could have just Meddling Maged on Giant. But I'm not smart. So they play a Chalice into this. We won't talk about that. Here comes the Giant. Alright, so there's no point in doing anything now. If we draw a fetch, we could just cast one of these. So now we go to our turn. This is a pretty complicated turn. Like, we have a lot of options here on things we can do. I think I just start off playing this land, solituding this. Oh, I start off pitching, right? I start off pitching the Night of Autumn. So I could get triggers, I guess. So that's 1 trigger. This will be 2 trigger to give us 4 mana. Now we attack. Oh, I guess we get Magus of the Moon. Oh, Charmaw. Now we start Charmawing. I should have hit a Simic because it hits Teleria West. Because this cast Teleria West, but whatever. Yeah, I think so. Here comes Colossus. We'll just skip through all the Colossus triggers. They got it to be an 8/8. So I just cast a Solitude, get some triggers. Attack for a lot. Crack the fetch, go to value down, which we're going to skip through. Oh, I guess we could see the triggers. The triggers are fun. So these are all the triggers. Why isn't... Yeah, the game conceded at this point. They conceded at this point. I guess I was going to kill the garrison so they couldn't haste anything. I don't know. Alright. That was game 2. Now we're round 6, game 3. So this time we got the Meddling Mage. I think I made that game harder than it needed to be by not just playing the Meddling Mage. I don't know why I didn't play the Mage here. That's weird. Pretty sure next round. I'm pretty sure next round is Blue Eye Control. Alright, so they play a Saga again. I don't know why I didn't put this Meddling Mage out on Titan. Just start attacking with it. Probably a punt. By probably a punt, I mean definitely a punt. I don't know why. I don't know why. I also don't know why I didn't Teferi minus this. I don't know what's going on in my head. I guess I wanted to hold up... Okay, so I remember now. I wanted to hold up the Ephemerate in case they went for Dismember. I could Ephemerate it. That was why I left it up. Because I wanted to protect it with the Ephemerate. Because I was like, oh, they're going to Dismember this and then we'll Ephemerate it and it'll never die. Not yet, but I'm going to make one. I'm going to make one. So that's why I waited. Because I wanted to sandbag the Ephemerate. Because I was like, if this thing doesn't die, I can never lose. So they go Amulet. Okay. So now we have Teferino. We could Teferino and start unsummoning these sagas. And we have Ephemerate plus Bolt. So make a construct. We drew Boseiju, which is obviously very strong against them. Cool lands that produce 2 mana, nerd. I don't even remember what I kill. So they played another the saga that we bounced. They didn't attack here, which I thought was weird. Like, why not attack this? I didn't understand this, no attack. I guess they didn't want to put in a position where I had to chump here, and then they would have had to make a thing at instant speed, and then I could have responded to it. I don't know. I don't understand this not attacking Teferi. I was prepared to Unholy Heat this, or Bolt it, but I don't understand why they didn't attack Teferi. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. So now it's... Teferi goes up. I think I decide I want to hold up Boseiju. I don't remember what I do here. Alright, so we Unholy Heat the one guy in response. So now we kill the other Sanctuary. This might have been very stupid, but I felt I was protected from the meddling because I had the Meddling Mage. Right? So now we're taking him off 2 mana here. So now they're going to have 1 mana, which they're about to lose. So they're not going to have the mana to get to Titan. And even if they get to Titan, we still have the Meddling Mage. And we still have it protected by the Ephemerate. So they just go ham on the making dudes. And we bolt the one that's in play. This does leave our Meddling Mage up to Dismember. But they get an Explosives on 2. Which is fine. Let's see, we draw, we go, Teferi goes up. Oh, I can't tap. Usual theme of the day is me trying to figure out how to cast Omnath with my stupid mana. Get Omnath in play. Okay. So they pop the Explosives. So now, if they have the Nutter Butter, we're in a lot of trouble right here. But it doesn't appear that they do. The second they made a person here, I was like, I'm fine. The second they made a dude, I was like, oh, everything's great. So they get to attack and kill Teferi. Oh shit, I saved Teferi. Throw away an Omnath. Oh, they Ephemerate it. Oh, then I just Ephemerate it. I didn't throw away an Omnath. Alright. They play 3 Amulet of Vigors. Apparently they just didn't have it. They must have just not had it. Yeah. They just must have not had it. Or they might not have had a bounce land. I don't know. But they have 4 cards in hand. And here, I don't know what... So now we unsummon one. I'm pretty sure I get Magus to the Moon here. They must just not have had it. think we do Eladamri's Call. We get Magus. I think we go Charmaw, Magus. And then I'm pretty sure I Charmaw the land. I think this about does it. I agree. I don't know about this. Well, a lot of people are just afraid of Eternal Witness from this deck. So now we're just in easy mode. Just attack them. One game 3. 40 people, so now we play round 7. Okay. MTCC. Would you like to play first? Yes. We reveal Urion. We can't keep that last hand. This hand we keep. Alright. We are on the play. Obviously, it's just Forest Abundant Growth. Best thing we could be doing in the format, apparently. Apparently, the best thing to be doing is playing Arkham's Astrolabe. Steam Vents DRC. Oh shit, I'm going too fast, I'm sorry. So we just tapped the thing, played this tapped. Bolted the DRC. Okay. Now we play our friend the Risen Reef. Our friend dies, but we got our value from our friend. We got the Wrenn and Six. This is Murktide, obviously. There's a Snowland. So now there's a question of which one of these I want to jam into a counterspell. Teferi or Wrenn and Six. I don't really remember which one I do. I could see an argument to doing either one. Pretty sure I play Wrenn first. They counter it. No big deal. They don't do very much this game. They haven't drawn an expressive iteration. Why was this not streamed? I don't know. We played Teferi. Well, this Teferi resolves. I knew I won the game. I bounced the Abundant Growth because I'm greedy. We have not a lot going on in our hand. We'll Abundant Growth the Boseiju. I'm thinking about it. I guess I don't Abundant Growth because I want to hold up the Eladamri's Call, I suppose. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate it. Nice emote. Okay, so now they get to, pretty sure they bolt the Teferi. I want to cast the Eladamri's Call in response. We get Titania. Titania is a beefcake. And if Titania resolves, we get an entire army in a can. Titania did not resolve. Rip. Okay, so we have Endurance, we have Fury, we have Charmaw. If they have a Murktide here, we're in trouble. But they just didn't draw a Murktide for some reason. They were like, oh, we're not playing Murktide. So with the Bauble draw on the stack, right? Because they only have 2 cards in hand. With the draw on the stack, right? I wanted to make sure they didn't draw a counterspell. I really wanted this Endurance to resolve, so I didn't get Murktided. Yeah. Alright, so the Endurance. They Unholy Heat it, which is fine. Because that Unholy Heat still gets exiled. And we get to take our turn now. Return the Urion. Urion, the Sky Noodle, returns to us. Okay, so now they draw. They look at our hand. They see what we're drawing. I wanted to click OK there. Jorion. Okay. So, I don't know what I'm doing. I should start off with Boseiju. Yeah, there you go. Alright, start off on Boseiju, draw a card. Here's Omnizel. Nope, looks like we're going for Obsidian Charmaw. Like, Omnath is kind of risky here because it could just get countered and I don't have a fetch land to do broken Omnath things. So, like, this card they kind of have to counter. I mean, they don't have to counter it, but it's just like, whatever I cast, they're probably going to counter. So I ended up throwing a card that I really didn't care about. This is their first iteration of the game, which is probably why they ended up losing. They exiled the Ledger Shredder, but they didn't cast it, which meant to me that they were holding up Counterspell. So I'm pretty sure I throw away the Fury here. Oh, no, I just cast Omnath into the Counterspell with no fear. No fear! Even though I like just talked to you about how they did that, just no fear. That's okay. Let's see what they end up to. Here comes the Murktide that they've been sitting on. Ragamuffin. Ragamuffin will obviously not stand. Obviously, Ragamuffin gets the Unholy Heated. And here they play Murktide. It's only a 6/6. Yeah, it was probably better to cast Fury. So we go Risen Fury. I guess it looks like we're playing Yorion. We play Yorion, bounce the Abundant Growth, bounce the 2 Abundant Growths. Oh, goodness. Alright, we played 4 mana, draw 2. They have another iteration. They play Ragamuffin. Here's where it gets a little gross. Here's where it gets gross. Okay. So first we play the Fury. Then we Fury those 2. Then we attack with Yorion. Oh, no. I play around Spell Pierce here, which is the only thing that they could have by ephemerating the Yorion. So first we attack with Yorion. Now we crack both fetches to make sure we have enough mana to pay for Spell Pierce. Well, it doesn't matter. We have basics here to fetch. We have basic forest, basic island, or basic plains. So they have a Spell Pierce, obviously. They Spell Pierce us. So we just get to go to more value town. Pay for the Spell Pierce. And we blink the Fury. This gets a little gross here. We are only at 5 life, so we are dead to double bolt. So now the grossness ensues. It's being weird. Why is it? Is it making me like click it? What the heck? It like broke it. Playback finished, ending, exiting. I think they conceded at this point. I think that they conceded. It says playback finished, exiting. Okay, well, that's that. I think they conceded at this point. I guess they must not have had a bolt. And they are facing a lot of damage. I don't know. So that was round 7. So let's watch game 2. So sideboarding. we Chalice. I brought in 3 Veil Summers, 2 Endurances, which is 5 cards, and I sided out 1, 2, 3 Furies, a Charmaw, and an Oath of Nissa for those 5 cards. We reveal Urion. Okay. They have a Ragamuffin here. So we have a choice, right? We're playing the Abundant Growth. The question is, do we just end the Ragamuffin, or do we just let us hit us? I just end the Muffin, right? That card will run away with the game. It gives them a mana advantage, which is unreasonable. And if they hit one of our cards, I will murder myself. They kept a 1-lander based on the Ragavan. And then we slowly get to just bury them in cards here. They kept a 1-lander all in on Ragavan hand. Here's another Ragavan. We have Ice-Fang here. Get this Teferi down while the getting's good. Teferi unsummons the Ragavan. So now, I think, don't really remember what I do here. They still have a Ragavan in hand though. Pretty sure I just passed the turn. Here comes Ragamuffin. Dash in the Snack. I could have maybe played the Endurance to kill this. But Snake is so expendable, right? Snake's so expendable. There's only 2 cards in the graveyard. Snake trade's fine. Then we just Wrenn and Six. Wrenn and Six goes up. I probably misplayed this, that I could have left up the Veil. But what's the point of leaving up the Veil, right? They don't need to know that we have a Veil, and what am I going to counter? I guess I could stop a Brazen Borrower on this, but who the hell cares? Alright, so we're just going to our value town. I'm holding this back for a Dash Ragavan. This 1 point's not really going to matter that much. Birdie. Birdie. Okay, so we return a land. Ending the Ledger Shredder. Play land. Now we can attack because we can hold up the Endurance if they want to dash a Ragavan. Alright, so now we Eladamri's call. I'm pretty sure, again, we get Titania. Or maybe Omnath. It's either Titania or Omnath. They go to counter. We get them with the blowout of the Veil. Veil's so dumb against these kind of decks. Yeah, Omnath. Cast Omnath. Oh, I played a land first? I'm really smart. Real smart. Oh, because I had the 2 fetches here. So the land didn't matter because I was going to get the 2 fetches here. I wanted to do this so I could play around Endurance if they go Unholy Heat or whatever. I don't know why I did this. I don't know. I don't know why I did what I did. Dispute. Yeah, dispute. That's exactly why. Pay 3. Yeah, dispute. Yep. I did have a reason. There was a reason to play around dispute. And now this plays around. They can't dispute this. But their graveyard was a little thick, so we got rid of it. And then we return Urion. And we plus the Wrenn. That was a pretty gross turn. So we got the Endurance. We nuked our graveyard. We return Urion. Our hand is not the best here. Not the best hand. Let's see what they do. They play a Dress Down. Okay. So they have Dress Down on our turn. So we're going to plus the Wrenn. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm cycling the Triome. We plus the Wrenn, return the Triome. Attack for some damage. Leave the snake back. I probably could have attacked with a snake. But it doesn't really change the clock. This is 7 and 7. And I missed a land drop this turn. I could have played a land drop. That was really dumb of me. But we're just holding everything up. Jace. Pretty sure I just play an endurance here and they concede. They Fury the Omnath away. So I should have played a land last turn, but this game's over. They concede to the endurance at the end of turn. Alright. So that was round 7, game 2, game 1. Now we got to round 7. No, that was game 2, right? That was game 2 because we veiled. So, alright. Round 8 is our winning in round. We have to win and go in. I'm MTG Vince. I won this challenge. Yeah, I won this challenge. Alright. So we mulled. We kept this hand. I went really fast there. I mulliganed to 6. So it's the mirror. We got Wrenn and 6. Wrenn goes up. Wrenn's obviously broken in the mirror. See, they killed our Wrenn, which is not nice. But here we have Risen Reef. And Risen Reef runs away with the game, kinda. No, we want to get Teferi in play. The Eladamri's call for Omnath. We attack. Okay. Place untapped. Untapped? We bounce the Abundant Growth, replay the Abundant Growth, get the value. So they Fury away our 2 things, play that. They did the same value play to us. Now we just play land. Pretty sure we just hardcast a Fury here. Just hardcast a Fury. They do have Omnath in their hand, but they pitched an Omnath to Fury away our board. Alright. So they don't have the Omnath anymore. So they just have nothing. They probably have a solid dude here. So we just attack. They solid dude our thing. Pretty sure I just play the Fury. Oh no, I bolt it. That's weird. Return Urion. Return Urion, hold up Eladamri's call. Okay. So they dash Ragavan at us. They do get a hit with Ragavan. And they got an Omnath with Ragavan. They did get an Omnath with Ragavan. That's pretty good. They cast the Omnath. They get the land. Okay. That was a pretty good turn by them. Pretty good little turn. So one good turn deserves another. So here we go. Start off with Urion. Or Omnath. As soon as I figure out how to tap. Here comes your, then we go play the land. Crack the fetch. Get the land. Fury that. Pretty sure I Prismatic Ending the Abundant Growth. I didn't want them to get value from their Urion. So we kill their Abundant Growth. Now Ragavan can't attack. They Solitude that. That's fine. So, what are we drawing? Pretty sure we swing with the Fury at Teferi. They chump. Now we play our Urion, I'm pretty sure. I would watch Watu's stream. I would watch all the Watu stream you can to figure out about blue-white. I play it and it doesn't seem very strong, but I'm not Watu. So if you want to know about blue-white, watch Watu's stream. Every time I try it, I get crushed, but I only play it in leagues. Alright, so here comes Urion. Urion, Blink. Blink the Fury. Kill this, draw a card. I think I even blinked the Endurance. Just to get value. They conceded at this point. Okay. So we just had to win one more match. Spoilers, one more game. Spoilers, we win this next game. I keep this hand. It gets turn 2 Wrenn. Maybe I shouldn't have played this, but I prioritize the abundant growth so much. I prioritize the abundant growth maybe more than I should have, but all right, we play the abundant growth. And excuse me. I could have maybe not had a land for this, but the Prismatic Ending the abundant growth. So we just get a Wrenn going. Wrenn goes up. Now it's their turn. They just go full hate. They just Prismatic Ending our Wrenn. So we just play another Wrenn. Plus, get the land, return the land. I don't know why I got a plains there. Maybe I should just got a dual land there. I don't know. They miss on their 4th land. Start cycle plus. Now I have to discard a card. Alright. So I did win. So they... So we're just taking them to Value Town here, and then we get to kill their Wrenn. Play Teferi. Plus, kill their Wrenn. Kill their Wrenn. And now they return Urion. Let's see what we end up doing this turn. I think Teferi, they return the fetch. Return the land. We just pass because I want a Wrenn alt. I want to Wrenn alt. I want them to have to deal with the Wrenn alt. And I want to like protect my Wrenn. Yeah, this is the replay. So they play the Fury. They knock Wrenn down a peg. That's fine, right? We just have the solid dude to roast that. We Prismatic Ending their abundant growth. Because we can. We don't... They have a Urion in hand, so we don't want them to be able to get value from the Urion. So now we just play that. Now we plus... We're just slowly grinding them out. This is round 8. This is right before the top 8. So, what do they got? They have Solitude here, no big deal. They just kind of got stuck on lands, and we're able to just cast our spells, because we have a million lands. Maybe this was greedy, getting the Emrakul, the Promised End. I don't know why I bounced the thing. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just in autopilot. They have Ragavan, so I didn't attack. Oh, I was discarding so I could get creature types to cast the Emrakul. No, I mean, you just cast Emrakul. I got a Wrenn. That was all I needed. I was discarding. I was bouncing that to get permanents so I could discard creature types to cast Omnath. That's what I was doing. Please wreck that. And we just play a Solitude. Solitude, there's Solitude. And now we cast Emrakul. I think. Pretty sure they concede to the Emrakul, if I recall correctly. And we won because we discarded that Wrenn and Six to hand size. And they concede to the Emrakul. Alright, so we're in the top 8. So, top 8 is good. We're in a good spot. Feeling good. Cool. Alright, so round 9 is the top 8. So this is round 1 of the top 8. And I believe it's against Punt Then Wine. And if you want to know anything about Punt Then Wine, it's possible that they are a fan of many different decks in the format. What is this? But it's possible that they have a proclivity to a certain type of deck. I don't know what that deck could be. I mean, it looks like they play all kinds of different things. All these decks look very different. So, you know, yeah, URG. And the big thing about Punt Then Wine is that he is an aficionado of the... He always plays Karn in his versions. Oh, well, there's no Karn in this, so now I look like an idiot. He doesn't like 6... Yeah, he generally plays Karn in his lists. He's one of the rare people that still play Karn, Karn the Great Creator. That's pretty much all you need to... Like, Punt Then Wine is Amulet Titan with Karn. So, I kind of assumed that they were on Amulet. I didn't know, but I assumed they were on Amulet because, you know, Amulet. If you got 4 pages of Amulet, I'm going to assume you're playing Amulet. Okay, so let's see. He plays Karn because he's lazy and doesn't like the sideboard. Alright, so is this hand good against Amulet? We're on the play. Obviously, I'm going to keep this hand. We have Green Ponder. We have a Solid Dude. We don't have a white card to pitch to Solid Dude, but we still got a Solid Dude. So we play Oath. Get the Boseiju. Pass the turn. Okay, so... He is the god, yeah. He is one of the OGs. Castle Garenbrig. Amulet. I should have fucking killed this here. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I should have just killed this. I should not have let them untap this. I should have just killed it. But I think I was prioritizing the Ice-Fang. But this just should have died. I should have just killed this. I don't remember what I end up doing. I don't remember. But obviously, I should have killed that with the trigger on the stack. But I'm stupid. Alright, so we get the Ice-Fang, play the Ice-Fang. I just wanted to get Snake Plissken out. So again, I probably should just Boseiju this and set him back. But I get greedy and I play the Risen Reef. Oh, no, maybe I don't. I attack for 1 first. I don't know. I guess I have the Boseiju now, so now I'm just being a lunatic. So now I figure out to Boseiju that. At least I figure out to Boseiju that. Which doesn't really even stop them. They play Azusa. Now I pop that. Pop. Pop, pop, pop. Pop Azusa. If I didn't have that lightning bolt, I was probably going to get dunked on. And not in the good way. That was a really good draw, obviously. Attack for 1. Roast the amulet. Not the most mana efficient turn, but I think it slows them down enough. There's Saga. Karn Father. Karn got Tormod's Crypt. Okay. Roast Karn. I mean, this was smart. I mean, they knew, right? They knew that I was going to draw Wrenn and Six. They had psychic power. When I first saw him get the Crypt, I'm like, well, okay, whatever. I don't really care about that. And they knew. They knew that the top card of my library was a Wrenn and Six. They're operating at levels. They just have ESP. They just knew that I was going to draw Wrenn and Six. I mean, it was crazy. They knew that I was going to draw Wrenn and Six. I'm like, Crypt? I don't care about Crypt. That doesn't do anything. Immediately draws Wrenn and Six. I'm like, mother effer. They knew. That was 5-headed plays. So we play. I'm like, oh, shit, I should play the Wrenn and Six. No, wait a minute. They drew the Crypt. I drew the Wrenn and Six. I'm like, oh, I should play it. And then I was like, no, let's not do that. So I'm still thinking. And then we just go Risen Reef. I'm going back and forth. We attack with Ice-Fang. Apparently, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I returned Urion, actually. Oh, no, I play the Risen Reef. Do I like Karn? No, I think Karn sucks. I think if you want to play... this is my 2 cents, right? My 2 cents is... if you want to play Titan, try and play the most broken, fastest version of the deck. And I think Karn is a little bit... I haven't played it enough to understand it or really get a 2 cents of it. But to me, it seems like Karn is... I mean, Punt and Wine knows a lot more about Amulet than I do. But to me, it seems like this is a bit of awkwardness. Where you just, like, you win the game by doing broken shit. And I don't think this is that broken. It's cool, but it's not broken. Like, it died to a lightning bolt, you know? Punt is out of touch and hasn't played lately. Well, I mean, they still... I mean, like, there is a power to Karn. But I think that just... the games I lose to Amulet Titan are when they go, like, turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 Amulet, turn 3, kill you. Alright. But this does grind a little bit. But I think if you want to play a grinding deck, I don't think you play Amulet. But that's not my... you know, I don't really know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean... here comes Titan. We don't really care about Titan. Like, Titan without Amulet is kind of boring. Especially when we have 2 solid dudes in our hand. So we return... oh, shit. I went too fast. But I returned Urion to hand. And I got a solid... and I solituded one to get some triggers. Alright, so they have a pact going off here. So they pacted for Dryad. Don't know why they did that. They played the Valakut before they played the Dryad. I guess they got to kill both my things anyway. Alright. So then they transmuted Teleria West. So I have another Summoner's Pact. Alright, so they're in a pretty good spot here. I think they end up beating me this game, if I'm not mistaken. Triome's not a good draw. I have to play the Risen Reef. Got to get cards in hand. Risen Reef to hand. I'm pretty sure I have to Fury away the Dryad here too. Pretty sure we Fury away the Dryad. Yup. And we play the Risen Reef. We play the land tapped and we pass. Yeah, I think I didn't want to use both Solitudes, if I am not mistaken. I don't know. I don't remember. But I think I didn't want to use both Solitudes. So I wanted to pitch the Yorion. So they're paying for Pact here. Then they just go nuts. I'm pretty sure I just die this turn. Yeah. Yep. Ridiculousness. And I die. Just like that. Just like that. If I would have drawn white cards here, if these would have been white cards, then I could have Solitude this and I would have been fine, but I didn't, so I died. I lost every game 1 versus Amulet Titan. Alright, so round 9, game 2. Pretty sure I'm down with how I sideboard now against this deck. Out Endurance. Out Oath of Nissa. I didn't bring in Night of Autumn. That was stupid. I should have Night of Autumn. It's my only way to interact. Yeah, I should have had... I brought in the 2 Chalices. I brought in the Meddling Mage. And I brought in the Magus of the Moon. And I cited out 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have brought in the Night of Autumn, but I'm not smart. Okay, so here we start off with Yorion. This hand's pretty good. We have the Boseiju. Just a snake pass. Punt goes Doofus into Simic. So I just hit the land. You go from 2 mana to 1 mana. You must play fair. There's an amulet. I kill that land. Now we're going to play Ice-Fang at the end of turn. Now we untap these, play the Risen Reef. I decided not to play the Boseiju here as a 4th land drop because I wanted to save this. It looks like they don't have a lot going on here. So now we play the other Risen Reef. Value Town, Value Town. Now we just attack. We attack. We have Solitude here if they do decide to go for it. There's the bounce land. They get fancy with this shit. I don't know what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing. I guess they could return the Nymph land or whatever. I don't know. I played Dryad, that's fine. They return the thing on Beast, which says Colossal Cultivator Colossus. Oh, so now we have everything we want here. So, I don't remember what I end up doing here. I think I like Boseiju this. I don't remember. I play the Boseiju. Nice. I play the Boseiju and I pass? That's not what I expected. What did they cast here? Titan? I let them get the lands. Oh, I don't remember what I did. I let them get the lands. They target these 2, and then I Solitude the Dryad. Oh, I guess I Solituded. Oh, wow. I didn't just cast it. I Solituded it. Or I pitched it, ephemerated, got the Titan, got a bunch of triggers. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That we just bolt that thing. And then we could just value bounce these, get more. Attack, attack, attack. Pretty sure we just Magus here. And then I hold up the Ephemerate so they can't kill the Magus. Guess they map for a forest. Obviously they're setting up for a Cultivator Colossus. We Eladamri's call for... Pretty sure I get... I don't remember what I get. Meddling Mage. So I should have named Cultivator Colossus here. But again, not a smart man. Oh, I did name it. I'm so smart. Look at me. Alright. Beat down, and we're holding up Ephemerate. Alright, that was game 2. Game 2. Alright. So, game 3. Was I smart enough to bring in the Augur? Tell me I was smart enough to bring in the Knight of Autumn. Alright, I'm smart enough to bring in the Knight of Autumn. So I sided out Titania, Oath of Nissa, Endurance, and I brought in the Knight of Autumn this time. I'm smart enough to remember that I want. Seems like someone else played my account. Didn't keep this hand, obviously. I think I keep this hand, but I'm not remember. Nope, I didn't keep it. Alright, so I mulled the 5. It's where you want to be. It's where you want to be against this deck on the draw, mulling to 5. So they played that thing, did that thing. We're just gonna play the fetch, or this thing tapped, pass the turn. Yeah, for sure, but it's still just a good card. Expedition map. If you would have told me I win this game, looking at this game now, I'd be like, you're crazy. Triad, yep. Okay. So, obviously they have Titan mana next turn, which is not good for us. So we just ending... Bounce that, I guess. I thought I was going to end it, but I guess I bounced it. This progresses the board a little bit. There's Karn, right? Like, this is just... Why aren't you playing a Titan here, right? Karn comes down. Karn gets Liquid Metal Coating. Liquid Metal Coating comes down. They get to turn... They turn Wrenn into an artifact creature here. Which is moderately annoying. But it doesn't actually stop anything. Because we get to Boseiju this, and then I Prismatic Ending this, and then return it or something. Or I what do? I think I Prismatic Ending the Karn, if I recall. I think I Prismatic Ending the Karn. I don't know. Oh, no, I Fury the Karn. And then we Boseiju one of the chambers. And then we plus our artifact Wrenn and Six. Get the other Boseiju. And get rid of the growth chamber. This is a pretty good turn. However, they could still Titan if they have a land. Because of Castle Garenbrig. But we do have Boseiju every turn. There's Amulet. Another Karn. They do get to kill one of our lands here. Or they just wish for Tormod's Crypt to get rid of this, which is fine too. So they turned Wrenn into a thing. Alright, we got to plus this. I'm pretty sure I Prismatic Ending Karn. This is where I Prismatic Ending Karn. So I do Prismatic Ending Karn in this game. Get Karn out of here. Now he plus on the Boseiju. Makes them blow the Crypt. But we do have Solitude. And we are about to ultimate Wrenn and Six. There's Dryad. They just have nothing in hand. I don't know. That was a really good draw here. Like, really, really good draw. I think if I'm not mistaken, I unsummon the Dryad. Draw the Cavern. Crack. Get the fetch back. I think we Charmaw the Garenbrig. Yeah. Then we go up. Wrenn and Six is at 8. And we still have Solitude protection. We still have Solitude holding back a Titan. There's a Dryad, and they played another Garenbrig. I just kind of got lucky in this game that they didn't draw a Titan. Now we just activate. We ultimated. Get rid of the land. I didn't want to attack. I wanted to protect the Wrenn. And now we have Solitude. We can, like, Eladamri's Call for whatever. So we just hardcast the Solitude, killing the thing. So... yeah, we're just attacking. We have Eladamri's Call. I wanted to hold up Eladamri's Call into Solitude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, here comes Cultivator Colossus, I think. Alright, so it is worth noting that they have the Boseiju. They can return the Boseiju and make something, an artifact with the liquid metal coating. So that's something worth noting. They end up doing it. Alright, so they get these two. This is going to bounce back the liquid. That bounces back. They return the bounce land to hand. They return the bounce land to hand. Ooh, the Night of Autumn. So we're running out of time here. So I am just playing fast. I recast the Eladamri's Call. I want to get the Magus of the Moon. I fucked up here. I should have played this first. Should have Night of Autumn this. Because it wasn't really on my mind that they could do this, what they're about to do. Like, I should have Night of Autumn this. Okay. I wanted to cast that before they bogged us. So, they return the Boseiju here. They return this Boseiju. And then they have the liquid metal coating. Like, I didn't think about that until they returned it, but I should have been smarter and just played this to kill that. It ended up working out for me because I got the Magus, but... alright, so now, if I play this before combat, they'll just kill this now. So I decide to go to combat, get an extra point of damage in. Oh, no. Oh, I'm just ending it. I wanted to make sure that this thing, this thing would have been used before I whatevered. So now we go to combat, attack. They kill our thing. We get a land, which is sweet. So now we play that, plus that. Get Urion back to hand, and the game ends. No need to Meddling Mage on Primeval Titans. They're not in my deck, apparently. I mean, he's right. We would have been dead if they had it. Okay, that was round 9. Now we're on to round 10. I'm pretty sure... oh, this is Hammer. So, Punt and Wine and this person. Now, Punt and Wine tournament finishes. Whatever. He plays a lot of Amulet. Sure. Right? A lot of Amulet here. A lot of Amulet. So, this person, Lapse Jam, is the exact same thing, only with Hammer Time. Hammer Time, Hammer Time, Hammer Time, Hammer Time. Hammer Time, Hammer Time, Hammer Time. Orzhov Stoneblade. Don't be fooled. It's fucking Hammer Time. It says Orzhov Stoneblade, but do not be fooled. It's all Hammer Time. All Hammer Time. To get the point, hammer, hammer, hammer. Oh, Devoted Druid. Ooh. In 2020. In 2020, 2 years ago, they were playing Devoted Druid. But since then, it's been all Hammer Time, right? All Hammer Time. Hammer Time. Right? Hammer Time. So, it's pretty safe to assume at this point we're playing against Hammer. I won the die roll because I'm a luck sack. Alright, let's see what our opening hand looks like. We reveal the Urion. Did mull the first hand, no lands. Alright. So now we start off with Breeding Pool, pass the turn. There's Esper Sentinel. I was like, oh, I should kill this. And I'm like, well, why am I killing it now? This is an instant. No, I just killed it anyway. Well, F that guy. Okay, so here we have Teferi, Time Walk. The old Teferi bounce a land. Do you imagine if this could actually bounce lands? Oh, man. This would be this would be like the greatest card ever. Tempo you. Tempo you. Alright, so our opponent has 2 lands. They replay the Saga. Now I think I lose this game if I'm honest. If I remember correctly, I think I get greedy and I get punished and I lose the game. Story of my life. Being greedy and terrible. We just return Urion, right? Because what are they going to do next turn? They're probably committed to the Saga. So they just play a land and pass. So now it's our turn. I'm pretty sure we don't want them to have Sigarda's Aid. So the one thing to note is we have plus on Teferi here. So I'm pretty sure we have plus on Teferi, so I can respond whenever. I want them to get the... Right, so now we just roast him. And now they have a Genius Smith, yup. They play another Esper Sentinel. I kill the Sigarda's Aid here. Do I? I think I do. We kill the Sigarda's Aid. I don't know why I did that then. I did it because I didn't want them to have to pay the tax. Play the Endurance. Omnath. Now we draw Omnath. We get to attack. Going full greed here. Full greed. I should have played the Oath of Nissa here. But I don't remember what I was thinking. I knew I was going to get to bounce an Abundant Growth. We're going to Value Town here. Figured I'd draw like a 1 mana piece of interaction, I guess. Or bluff one at least. Yeah, see, they played Pure Steel and then conceded. I guess I got lucky there. I should have played this. Please keep playing it. Hello. So, they played Pure Steel and conceded. We're going to get to do crazy stuff next turn with this. Alright, now we want to go to game number 2. I thought I lost that game. I must lose this game. Alright, sideboarding. What did we do? We brought in a Fury. We brought in the Knight of Autumn. We brought in the Magus of the Moon. That's 3 cards. We sideboarded out. We brought in 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we cut Endurance, Endurance, and Titania. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, I don't know. What's up? Welcome everyone from the Legacy Council. What's up, Arkin? How are you? So today we are going over the challenge win that I had. And we're in the top 8. This hand seems okay. We're missing red. I don't know if I keep it. I don't remember. I kept it. I keep everything. No mana to cast your spells. I could cast a Prismatic Ending. Alright. So they played Seachrome Coast. We just play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. What do? They play Ingenious Smith. Make it a 2/2. We really need to draw a red land here. Pretty sure we don't. I just play Boseiju. Pass the turn. Really would have loved a red land there. That would have been pretty good. There's Esper Sentinel. We play Snake at the end of turn. Draw the red land, finally. So now we have all the goodies, right? We know that they bring in Spell Pierce after sideboard, and they also play Blacksmith Skill. That's kind of what these decks are leaning on these days. I don't exactly remember what I end up doing. So I play Wrenn. I let them draw a card? Oh my god. I don't know if this was right. They Spell Pierce it? Yeah. And then I decide to the old Ephemerate Solitude. So they did get to Spell Pierce the Wrenn. We did take out 2 cards. They did draw a card off the 1/1. This is where I played this poorly, I think. Bounced on the snake here, draw a card. Alright, so here we play Teferi, bounce the Saga. Maybe here I'm supposed to bounce. This was weird to me. Oh, because they had the... They wanted to get the Spell Pierce. Yeah. They Spell Pierce the Teferi. Yep. That'll assist. See here, now they have too much shit, and I'm just gonna die to this. What do I end up doing here? I think I end up killing the other Urza Saga. No, I killed the Nettle Cyst. That was a kind of bold attack by me. I guess it wasn't too bad. Okay, so then equip. We have Delirium. So you do get to cleanly kill the construct. They have 1 card left. They make another construct. So I play the Charmaw. Reality Chip. Block. Okay. So here I should have just ephemerated, I think. I don't remember what I did here. Guess I should just ephemerate, kill the token, play land, return Urion. Alright, so now we have another solid... We have the Ephemerate coming off. We've kind of slogged through all their stuff. But they do have Sigarda's Aid. They do equip that. And we block and they just kill us with a hammer. They just kill us with the hammer. Sigarda's Aid into hammer. Rip. Okay, game number 3. This time we're on the play, obviously, because it's game 3. We kept sideboarding the same, or do I think I brought in Chalices on the play, and I think I sided out Oath of Nissas. I don't know. I think I brought in Chalices on the play, game 3. This hand is all in on this. I'm obviously going to keep it. I mean, maybe it's not obvious, but I'm a lunatic, so I kept it. So I played Memnite, Drum. So now we had the classic choice of messing with their stuff or progressing our board. I'm pretty sure I go play Boseiju, Abundant Growth, get rid of the Springleaf Drum. They spell pierce it. That sucked. Hammer. So this means they're setting up for the Stoneforge play here. So I don't really remember what I do. Play that, kill that, sure. Knife Fury away those two. Seems like an okay turn. Let's see. They had nothing else. We just get to go to Value Town here. Get the Wrenn, plus the Wrenn. Attack. They just didn't do anything after we killed their Saga. Return Urion. That was it. That was it. They just didn't do anything after the Saga blew up. So Saga blows up, and we take their creatures away. They only have 1 mana. They're probably sitting on a handful of whatever, and they didn't want to play with me bouncing this. Oh, we have made it to the finals. All the way to the finals now. So, Doctor of Time. I have no idea what they're playing. Yeah, good games. Good games earlier. Good games on Saturday. Yeah, I was throwing an audible. Okay, so I have no idea what they're playing. No idea what the final is. No idea. But this hand is sketchy, right? But it does have... It has Abundant Growth. So we have a draw. And we have Solitude, Ephemerate. So we can go Solitude, Ephemerate. So I kind of feel good about this hand. Right? I don't know what they're playing. I'm on the play. It's not the greatest hand, but it's got the Solitude, Ephemerate, plus Endurance. So, or Abundant Growth. So we just play. We draw. We draw another Endurance, which is not a big deal. But then they go Rainforest. I'm like, okay. What's playing Rainforest? It's not 60 cards. Maybe it's Rhinos. Maybe it's Living End. Right? Could be a lot of things. I was so hoping it was Living End because we had the 2 Endurances. I was like, please be Living End. So we don't do anything. They cycle, and I'm like, yes. Yes, they're Living End. Which is obviously this is a nuts hand versus Living End because we have the Endurance. So... I don't really have a lot going on here. In fact, I have nothing going on. So we discard the Omnath. They cycle. We discard Omnath so that, like, if they do Living End, I get back Omnath. Maybe I should have discarded Solitude. But... And they just they just go for it. We finally drew our third land. We play the land, pass the turn. They're cycling more. They cycle. Now they play the land tapped. So we play... I don't think I play the Ice-Fang at the end of turn. Maybe I do. No, I don't play it because it's a green card to pitch. So now we drew the Solitude. And... we're going to go to end step? Are they ready to go to end step or they want to fight? Let me go to end step. And I discard an Unholy Heat. They drew Cavern. Play Cavern on Elementals. Here they go for it, right? So they go for it. So, pretty sure I just pitch the Endurance. I had the Hardcast one up. So I had pitch Endurance, Hardcast Endurance if I needed to. But they conceded. I had the nuts hand against them. I got very lucky. So now into the finals. The final game 2, the last game. So we sideboarded. How did we sideboard? We brought in 2 Chalices. We brought in 3 Veil Summers. That's 5 cards. Did we bring in anything else? We brought in 2 Dovin's Vetoes. That's 7 cards. We brought in a Meddling Mage. That's 8 cards. And we cut 1, 2, 3, 4 Prismatic Endings. 4 removal spells. That's 8 cards. And we cut 1 Fury and the Obsidian Charmaw for all the cards that we brought in. And we cut Titania. So we made a lot of cuts. Okay. Let's see. So this hand is okay. It's not great because it's missing Endurance, but it's still an okay hand, right? Like, they grief away our Wrenn and Six. They've discarded 1, 2, 3 cards in the graveyard on turn 1. So we drew Solitude. Should play land. That perfect draw. Just got super lucky. Super lucky to draw that. They griefed us. We Endurance that? Okay, so I skipped through that whole turn. But basically, they griefed us. We Endurance them. So they only had the grief. I try to be a solid dude. So now we just play the land tapped. So they're passing. So here's the interesting play here. They only have the grief. I think they should have maybe done this on my draw step. I don't know though. They knew I had the other Teferi. So I try to slam Teferi here. But maybe they probably knew something that I didn't know. But if they were going to Living End here, which they ended up doing, I kind of didn't know why they didn't draw step it. But I don't know. I guess if they draw step it, we could just, I don't know. I guess I could just Solitude it. I don't know. I thought they were going to draw step me, and they didn't, and I was, like, surprised. So they get to take the Solitude. And then the Teferi resolves, and I just unsummon the grief. Alright, that was that. That was the finals. I think the deck is good. Obviously, I don't. You don't need this. If I had to fix it, if I was actually trying to make this deck better, I would just do this. Not this. I would main deck this. I don't know. It feels like Ice-Fang was really good. I would probably want more, but I don't know how to mess with it. But the only thing that I would do right off the bat is just play Magus main. Magus main is the first place I'd start. Endurance is crazy. Endurance is crazy versus that deck. But even like, I just got lucky to draw my Endurance against them. You know, I just got lucky. Okay, so that's the top 8. That's the whole tournament. I should have streamed it, but I copied Kona's deck from a week ago, and we just stole it. And it's not my list. I just straight stole it. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I would really change is I'd change the Charmaw for a Magus. That's the one that I would change. If I was going to play Collector Roof, I'd probably just play the Kataki. Someone was playing Kataki in the sideboard. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know enough about the deck to really play it well. And like this, like, I could see cutting Oath of Nissas for Ice-Fangs, because Ice-Fang was like crazy all day. And Oath of Nissa was kind of whatever. I did whiff on an Oath of Nissa once, which really sucked. But the deck was sweet. Yorion is broken. It's so broken. The pitch elementals let you keep sketchy hands and come back. So, alright, that's it for the recap. So, let's do a poll. What do you guys want to see?